We're live, everyone. Welcome to the live
Hey!
reality. Hey, welcome to the live reality game shows podcast, where today we are recapping Australian Survivor Brain versus Brawn, episode 19, 20, and 21. There are a lot of episodes in this season. I'm your host Lee. Joining me is my usual host Jessica. Hopefully Susan will join up at some point if she's not sleeping again.
She's up today, I think.
Yeah. So first off, what you quick thoughts over these three episodes?
I'm excited because my favorite is still in so
Yes,
far.
way.
Yes, way. Love her. I, she no, I can't.
Yeah. Well, of course George is still in. Like I mentioned off camera, he has
Mhm.
protagonist powers where it is impossible for him to go home.
Exactly. He's like the cockroach that won't die. He just
Yeah.
keeps on keeping on.
The Roach of Bankstown, as everyone loves to call
Hmm
him, or as he calls himself. But we'll get into like our thoughts on the final five near the end. But first, we have to go all the way back to episode 19, where I mean, the twist this season is just unbelievable. We hear Way's side of the story of the whole what to do, which is a shock and a true miracle of the season. What were your first thoughts? I know my first thoughts when I saw Way's confession, I was like, oh, so this is the episode she goes home in.
Yes, I was also thinking that, and I also thought to myself, finally Way shows up. Like they're finally either A, Way's confessionals aren't that good, it's not showing her, or she just finally showed up and they just thought her content was relevant.
Yeah.
One of the
Um,
so
not,
I'm glad to see her confessionals, but
yeah. We're happy to see more Way content, at least I am personally. I'm feeling the way.
that was good. That was good.
Yeah, just thought of it. Somebody hire me, I'm witty. And we hear little Andrew being pissed off, and he will never trust Haley again after the stunts that she pulled of voting off. Who went? Emmett. Yeah. Well, yeah, this was just after the Emmett vote.
It's like forever ago.
Yeah. So it seems like Andrew is just never happy because whenever we hear his thoughts, it's always when votes don't go his way. Like when
Right.
Laura went home, when Emmett went home. I
Yeah,
would say when Joey went home, but that was back when he was invisible.
exactly. It's just
Yeah.
it's funny how people act when things don't go their way, but when things go their way,
Hey.
that's like they're on top of the world. And
Yeah, especially for Way when things go her way.
exactly. It's
The amount of puns that you can easily make with Way's name. Good thing she lasted this long. Imagine if she went home first. We'd had none of this fun.
we would have still had Phil if Way went home first.
He probably would have went home at some point to swap.
Don't say that. Good thing Susan's not here.
Yeah, good thing. Well, she's probably if she's watching somehow and wait. All the Phil stands are now going to like rage in the comments, like, "How dare you? He would have won the season." I'm like, "No, he wouldn't have." So yeah, he will never trust Haley again. We're at the final seven. Should you really be like saying like you're never going to trust people again when the numbers are that tight, especially if you're in the minority?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that at 7, mainly because you can still have a majority of 4. But
Yeah,
I mean, uh,
yeah. Maybe at
it's Andrew.
17, you can say that.
It's Andrew. What is he gonna do?
We don't know because the season just doesn't show him that much. We get like half a confessional from him, and then all of a sudden he gets story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Andrew confessionals confused me.
yeah. The fact that they're happening confuses me. It doesn't
Mhm.
even matter what he's saying. It's just the fact that we're getting one.
Right.
Australian Survivor, fix your editing.
Yeah. They need
Yeah.
to.
Did you? I can't remember if I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last time. I have a horrible memory, but I think there's a rumor like he asked to be the next Bachelor, the next Australian Bachelor.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
but
I think I
we're
just saw
not.
it somewhere on Discord. I mean, they got Locky
Yeah.
during
How do you
the
go from
COVID
Locky to
season.
Andrew though?
Oh, they're pretty much the same. Like guys that only care about strength and aren't that interesting.
Yeah,
The only difference is Locky got more airtime.
exactly.
Yeah, and made it further, but only once. Well, only on his first season. We don't talk about All Stars.
We don't
No,
talk
and
about
not
that.
just unless your name is Shawnee, you don't talk about All Stars.
Nope. We don't talk about that here.
No. So once after we get all the pissy people over with the housing, we get to a reward challenge where they're in teams of 3 on a 7-person tribe. Okay, where they have to balance Way's worst nightmare, grab a ball, Haley's worst nightmare, throw a ball, Haley's worst nightmare again. Physical activity, all the brains' worst nightmare.
Exactly. And George just no.
No.
It just
Where so teams are divided in random draw. We get Haley, George, and Andrew, of course.
that was rigged.
What? Australian Survivor rigged? No.
Never heard of
And
it.
then Danny, Flick, and Way with Cara sitting out, and she just gets to pick whatever team, and if they win, she gets to go on the board as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she picks the team of the women, Flick, Danny, and Way. If you're would have you picked Danny, Flick, and Way, or would have you gone for George, Haley, and Andrew?
If I'm Cara, I don't go for George's team because if I'm Cara, I don't want to be with George because it's like you already know. So it's like you want to be where he's not. So even if he wins or he loses, you're still not with him. So I thought that was a good choice for Cara, personally, in my opinion. I almost wish they would have done schoolyard pick because I think that's even funnier. That
Yeah.
that truly tells
Then
you,
it would have been Way in that situation, probably.
yeah, it almost tells you exactly where alliances are. And I don't mind like team situations and rewards because it forces people who aren't in the same alliance to work together
Yeah.
because
And
you're
that's why I
working towards
usually
single.
Yeah, and that's why I usually don't like the schoolyard pick because it's just people picking their alliance
Yeah.
members.
Yeah, I get you.
Unless you're in Survivor South Africa where you just pick people to win. If you watch the season, you know what situation I'm talking about.
I watched some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, this season is it's weird. The cast is great, but the season is not.
Gotcha.
It's a weird season. Pins and needles, pins and needles.
Yeah, I think Cara made the right decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, you always want to hear what the opponent's side is talking about rather than stuff that you already know.
Right.
Challenge is underway. Way is too short for majority of this challenge, but her, Danny, and Flick win, and so does Cara. Woo! Woman power. The team of all women win, and the one with the one woman don't.
Aww.
Survivor respecting women. The season is just full of shocks.
That is kind of cool, though, that the all-woman team won. That's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. Good on the females.
Woo. We can do it.
Yeah. And then we hear a quick conversation on how we're at the final 7 with 5 women and only 2 guys.
That's crazy.
Never heard of.
That's crazy to
Unless it's One World, but people hate that season, so that just shows how much America hates women.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And of course, the women target. We hear Danny targeting George, which is the story of these 3 episodes. I feel like with the 3-episode length, especially during the merge, we get the same story throughout the 3 episodes.
Right.
And it only comes to conclusion in the last episode.
Right.
Yeah, because like last week we had the whole will Haley I already forgot what the story last season was. Last episode.
Yeah, it's all about George and all about Haley.
Yeah, pretty much the season. Where was I? Oh yeah, Way talks about. Oh yeah, Way talks about how her choices at Tribal are always last minute. They're always right as she's putting pen to paper, and she pulls a Hannah from Millennials vs. Gen X where she will take forever if she could, to vote off someone when it doesn't matter because they already have the majority. Bring back Mari. I'm saying that purely because I'm a Smosh fan. Woo.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't like how it's like almost, it's like I like that strategy, but I don't, because then it's like you don't know, your alliance doesn't know if you're with them until like tribal, and it's
I think it's usually
makes it
because
hard.
Wei doesn't know
Yeah.
if she's with her alliance or not. I feel like that would be something I would do. It's like I would hear both sides, and then
Mhm.
it's like, what is the right decision in the moment? Because obviously, like, let's take the final eight tribal of Emma versus George. Both you have great, strong reasons to get rid of, and no matter which one you get rid of, you're getting rid of a threat and leaving in a threat. So with stuff like that, you're always. I would be like very last minute. Like I'd be saying in my head, like George or Emma, and then I'd make a decision.
Right.
Although that would
Yeah.
have been funny if she did. If Haley chose vote off Emmett and Wei was like, okay, I'm gonna stick with this plan to split
Hmm.
George and Cara up, but Emmett still goes home, so it's like only Haley takes the blame.
Easy.
Maybe that would have been smarter for her, just to be like play up the fact like Emmett will still go home, but as long as I just stick to the plan and vote for Cara, I don't get any of the blame.
Right.
Put me on Survivor, I'd win. No, I won't. I'd be the first boot. I'd be Phil, but in a different situation. Obviously, at the dinner, they talk about powerful women, how they want to go to the end and show power to the women. Power to the women.
Woo.
Um, obviously, they bring up George's name to where Cara was like, she was very much saying, I'm never voting for George,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's to win.
Mm-hmm. Right.
She mentions that she trusts Haley, but not Wei.
Mm.
And I think it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you should trust Wei and not Haley.
Right.
Which one of them has proven to be? Well, actually, both of them have proven to be flippers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. If
I don't understand
anything,
how they
don't.
don't. I don't understand why they say they don't trust George when George is like basically, even though he's not always telling the truth, he's the people. Excuse you.
They're just as upset as you are with.
They are. They really are truly upset.
Yeah.
He always tells the truth to the people he's telling. Like if he's telling you something, that's his truth, and if he's telling somebody else something else, then that's the truth to them. So I have a
I
German
agree.
Shepherd.
Yeah, I think they're. It's not like George is. George was. I feel like George would only tell the truth to Kara because we do see in this episode he does lie to his alliance members to get his way. With Way, as we'll talk about later, how he makes up these. Actually, we'll bring up now how he tells. Oh, who does he tell? I wrote this somewhere. La, 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 la. Oh wait, I'm not that far yet. They talks. Car talks to George. Signal George. She's handed not way knows the work away. Okay, that's later on. So we do hear in this reward that I think either George tells Danny that Way is going after them. So it's a classic survivor strategy to get somebody on your side and vote off somebody the enemy. You just tell them, well, they brought up your name, and then people eat that up very easily, without question whatsoever. Why do people believe that so easily? The whole like, oh, blank is going after you and brought up your name, but they didn't write it down at all.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's so close to the end that paranoia must be setting in, and I think it's funny that I think I thought George said that Andrew was going after Way.
That was later on before tribal. This is at the reward when
Oh,
Danny
okay.
and Flick are all talking.
I think it's just because paranoia is setting in and you just believe whatever people tell you to believe, I guess. That'd be my only guess.
Yeah, it is a classic survivor strat. Tell somebody that this person's going after them.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm just surprised that it worked because that happened after the reward, after Danny said to you that, oh, George told me that you're going after me. And Wei was like, that was not true. And then George just tells the same story to Wei, just replace the names. And then she's like, I believe him.
Yeah, George has a way about him that he can get people to believe him. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's a politician for a reason. Imagine George running a country or like in some sort of power situation.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, if Australia wasn't on fire already, it definitely would be.
Exactly.
Okay, so everybody gets back from rewards. The four brains people, minus Andrew, have their powwow, and they talk about how Andrew is the big immunity threat. How many immunities did he win? I think he only won 2. Or is it 1? Because that 2, okay. Plus the like whole 3 necklace thing, which please never do that again.
Oh.
No. Ugh. But Wei brings up the fact that her and Andrew have always been on the same tribe. They've never been apart, so she feels protective of him. To where I think everyone's eyes just grew 3 times. It was like,
Yeah, it's weird that she would like say that out loud. Like one, it's like as a viewer, it's like we never saw that. So it's like how are we supposed to like believe what you say? And when you're talking to people, why would you say that out loud to somebody?
yeah.
That's just like
Well,
target
for the
me,
us
target
never,
me.
yeah, for the us never seeing it again, we can blame production for that.
Right.
And for saying it out loud, Wei has been very open with the fact that she is an open book. Like if she thinks it, she will say it, and she literally tells people, "I am flipping on you." Like back way yonders at the
George.
beginning of the season, when she
Hmm.
flipped on George, she literally told him, "Sorry, but I'm flipping on you."
Hmm. I
And
want to play like a game like that. Like,
you just tell people, "It's like, yeah, I'm
yeah,
voting for you."
yeah, that's crazy.
Trying to add Zoom to phone. Okay, well, it's not Zoom; it's StreamYards. Yeah, that is kind of. It'd both be funny and annoying.
Hmm.
Funny to watch, annoying to play with. If somebody's like, oh yeah, I've seen this happen in a fan survivor where it's like somebody they're in a minority of 3 against an alliance of 5,
Hmm.
but the person that was being targeted had an idol and just played a super idol to
Mm.
save an ally. And he literally asked, he said right up in tribal, who are you vote to this guy he was trying to flip, and it was like, who are you voting for? And he straight up was like, I'm voting for you.
Huh.
And I was
See,
like, I don't think
moves
you're doing that.
moves like that are ballsy and
Yeah.
take a lot of
Balls.
there you go,
Yeah.
to be able to pull a move like that.
Yeah. And then he didn't play his idol, and then he went home.
If you have an idol,
Oh,
play an idol. That's just my opinion.
oh god. Oh, that was so funny to watch. Shout out to Kutane, one of the most boring Minecraft seasons, but still good. Nobody here watches that. Andrew thinks he's. Oh, uh, but she brings up, coming back to the actual season. Wayne brings up the fact that she would much rather Flick go than Andrew because Flick, she has those Brawn connections. She's also good in challenges. She's always right there in the top 2 or 3. And is she kind of bringing up good points with the fact that like, Flick maybe would be better to go instead of Andrew?
Yeah. I mean, I can see for Way not wanting to get rid of Andrew because he's like the only connection that she has. And I mean, Flick is, I don't, she hasn't won any, but she's been right up there in challenges. So I feel like, but I don't know why, other than the fact that Way is close to Andrew, that Way would want to keep Andrew in the game.
I
So,
think, like she said, she was just protective of him.
mm,
You always want to have that one person that you just want to keep in the game.
right,
Yeah, you always want the Cara to your George.
right, exactly.
Immunity challenge.
Woo!
Hold up a plank.
That
Oh yeah,
looked
this is
hard.
the yeah endurance challenges. I would to bring up a Big Brother reference. I would
Ooh,
be Jessica in Big Brother 21 when you're holding on and then you just fall screaming.
yes, that would be me, 100%. I'm not an endurance person, so
No. Give me a puzzle and I would still lose, but I won't lose as embarrassingly.
there you go.
So everyone's holding up their planks. If they let go, they fall spectacularly into a great fashion, trapdoor style. Everyone in the reward is struggling because they're heavier than usual.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
always the case.
the one tiny woman that did not eat seems to be doing well.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm shocked at that Wei didn't do as good because even though she ate, she's still little.
She also has
So
no strength though.
that is true. That is
Yeah.
very true.
But Cara drops first. Quickly, Wei followed, which I think is now a new gif going around. Just like Wei. It's the new Jessica falling and screaming. It's now just
Wei.
Wei falling and screaming.
Poor
We
Wei.
need another falling screaming gif. Somebody make it happen. Somebody get Nicole from South Africa just trying to reach for the key. George drops. Danny drops between Haley, Andrew, and Flick. Feel like we heard the story before.
Mm-hmm.
Has to go down to one arm. Flick drops. Andrew drops. Wei wins immunity again. Not
Haley.
Wei wins immunity. Haley wins immunity
Haley wins immunity
again
again.
in another endurance challenge.
Yes.
We need production. I know you're watching us because obviously
Yes.
you need to make it more clear which person you're rigging it for. We're confused. Like, are you rigging it for George or are you rigging it for Haley?
We're not sure.
Are you rigging it for both?
It's possible.
Like, do you want them both to make it to the end and make it more interesting because of All Stars and
I
how
think
that
so.
shit went down?
That's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. Oh god. I think everyone we can pretty much talk. If you if you haven't seen the episodes, why are you watching us? But I think it's kind of confirmed. If anyone goes to the end with Kara's not winning.
No.
No.
Cara has to go to the end with Cara to win.
Yeah. I think even then she'd still lose. She'd probably vote for Laura.
She probably would. She would probably not understand the assignment.
Yeah. It's like, who am I supposed to write again?
She would get confused.
Yeah. Which is a theme in we'll talk about Cara being confused. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah. Haley wins. Woo! Bottom
Woo!
3. Danny, Flick, and Andrew are worried on which one of them is going to go home. Is it Andrew for his immunities? Is it Flick for her immunities? Danny's name is not brought up for some reason.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's like, not Danny for her immunities?
Yeah, Danny's, I mean, she does good, so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it more, but maybe you should have voted for her instead. But they eventually do.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? Oh yeah, Andrew decides. Oh, yeah. Andrew challenges. Decides. Oh yeah, bottom 3 obviously targeting George because who else would they target?
Exactly.
Wei, Cara. Would they not attack the right-hand woman? George needs Wei. George wants. Oh yeah, we brought up again where George tells Wei, "Oh, Andrew mentioned your name and wants you to go."
That's
Which
crazy.
is the exact same lie you heard, but you believe it. We'll talk about it more when it comes to it. Wei and Haley are playing the middle game again.
It's crazy.
Like,
It's crazy to me how George can just like go up to people and just say, "Oh, so and so's targeting you,"
yeah.
and like the person doesn't go up to the person who he says and just ask. Like Wade just is like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah. Tell
I
the
believe
person
you.
that you're trying to protect, like, hey, George told me you're targeting me. Is this true? No.
Like even
What
if
am I
he
gonna
said no,
do?
though, you can
Yeah,
still be
you would
lying.
be like, oh, you're lying. Like, of course you're targeting me because I'm such a threat. That's why probably people believe it so much because they believe, of course they're targeting me. I'm a shoo-in to win.
Yeah, that's probably what they think.
Egos. Oh my god, I just remembered what was introduced in this episode.
Was it the urns?
No, the BB return ticket.
Yes, exactly. I was for sure that all 4 of those were going to have a safe ticket in it. I was 100% confident.
No, I was 100% confident in like, oh, So this is how they're going to save George in
That's
this
what I thought. I'm
plot.
like, it's 100% going to be in it because they're going to have to save George.
Yeah,
Somehow.
because obviously production's favorite.
Hmm.
So what we're talking about is after all the discussions, they get to tribal, they see 4 weird urns, and the host tells them, alright, in 3 of these urns, after you get voted off, you'll grab an urn, smash it on a rock. If the urn has nothing in it, tough luck, you're going home. One urn has a save scroll in it, and if you find that scroll, you get to walk back into the game.
Woo!
Ugh.
It's
That was
crazy.
literally my reaction when I saw it. I
Yeah.
was like,
I,
fuck's
I was just like,
sake.
huh. Like, okay, this is how George gets saved.
Yeah, this is how George gets saved. Like, he has to get saved in a weird way every time. And like I said before, it's just the BB return ticket.
Mm-hmm.
They're really inspired by Big Brother. Hi, person in the background.
Hey,
Craig says they're getting lazy.
they had better twist last season.
They're getting lazy with how they got to pick, save George. So
Yeah, they're just being inspired by Big Brother. Like, first we had Paul's friendship bracelets. We had a battle back competition between Baden and Haley.
Ooh.
We have the return ticket now. I'm just waiting for the high rollers competition.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we going to get a coin of destiny to decide, all right, you won this comp. Heads, you decide who goes home. Tails, you go home. And it's a double tail sided coin. Oh no, it's like heads, you go home. Tails, you don't stay in
Go
the
home.
game.
Ugh.
I love pulling that trick on people.
Mm.
You'd be surprised how many people fall for it. So everybody votes, and it's Andrew with a random vote for Flick.
That's crazy that he, well,
He
it's him
explains
or
that
her.
the reason he voted for Flick was like, oh, maybe they're splitting between me and Flick in case of an idol. So if I vote for Flick, she'll get the majority. Sorry, girl, love you, but I'd rather stay. But no, they just all pile on Andrew.
Yeah. Right idea, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really split with
Yeah.
a tribe of 4 unless you try and flip somebody, which they did not do.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only
Right idea.
imagine though. Let's say Haley and Wade did Flick. How would Flick feel? Like, oh, you voted for me?
Yeah, probably. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, this is the point of the recap where I usually ask, "What were your thoughts about Andrew?" But I don't believe anybody has any because they forgot who he was.
Exactly. I forgot who he was until like 3 rounds ago.
Yeah, I kept asking in like Discords and stuff. It's like, who is this guy? Like, what's his name? Like, it was Gerald on the Brawn tribe, which I kept calling Garrett, I think. And then there was Andrew, who I just didn't know his name.
His name is Alan.
Alan, Eric, Alex, Paul.
One of those names.
Victoria.
Huh.
So, yeah, Andrew, you got more screen time than Chelsea.
That is true. That's very true.
I think I saw, let's see, can I find a confessional count that somebody posted and the laugh of how little confessionals Andrew got with how far I think it's like he got 13 confessionals in the whole season.
It's crazy. That's like not even one an episode.
No. So, bye, Andrew. At least we can remember you for your placement. And one quick. I have to show who Andrew joins in his vote off ranking.
Woohoo!
With fun fact, out of all the times 3 people have received a vote, this is the most times it happened.
Huh.
Yeah. So, well done. You get to join amazing players like Matt and AK. So, that's...
Bless him.
At least you get to join those good players. And then all the other ones of US Survivor.
Abby Maria.
Yeah, you get to join Abby.
Yes.
Yeah. You also get to join the leaders of the Leaders at Best tribe. Anyone who watches Survivor Michigan, you understand how funny that is. And if you don't watch Survivor Michigan, what's wrong with you?
Nope.
I'm dying. Next episode. Way believes George. Why? Then we hear more from Wei, which again we're still surprised to see. We're just waiting for her to go home, where she worries about George's survivor I can't speak English. Obsession. As somebody myself who has a survivor obsession, I was offended by this comment.
What'd she say one more time? Rabbi Mimi?
That she worries about George's survivor obsession.
Oh yeah. There's no such thing.
Yeah,
If you're not obsessed about Survivor, then why are you on the show?
yeah, to win money,
I guess.
win fame, to I don't know, get skinny.
Maybe
I feel like most people.
that Survivor diet.
Yeah, it's like, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I don't want to put any effort. Oh,
Let's just go on Survivor.
Yeah, go on Survivor.
That'll definitely get you.
Forget about The Biggest Loser. Go on Survivor and become The Biggest Loser. George is the last man standing.
Woohoo!
Who
Go
would have
George.
thought? Literally, production.
Go George.
Well done for being the last man standing. I know it. Yeah.
And he lets everyone know too.
People love to tell him. For some reason we hear George's perspective, which is something we're not used to this season. And he talks about how flexible he is with his game. To where I laughed, because it's like,
see, but I feel like he's going from one alliance to the other, and now that he's with the brains now. So
yeah, that's not flexibility, that's flipping.
Yeah.
I mean, it does take flexibility to flip, unless you're Candace. You do. If you watch Final Destination, you understand the reference. Which, by the way, I watched the first Final Destination film, and now I'm never going to get on a plane again.
Nope, no, you're not.
No. Oh, I just watched the teacher's death, and my God, that was drawn out. That was literally it. That was my thought. It was like, oh my God, she's waiting. It's like, God, this is long.
Yeah, the Final Destination movies are scary. They make
I
you
know. I'm weirdly obsessed with them. Like, I haven't seen any of the films, and I know all the characters' name and what order they die.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the 5th film because Olivia Castle's in that, and she's supposed to be fun. She's gonna get the grievance pay.
Should.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them all in order, and I'm currently on the first film. I'm terrified for that second film because I have a driving anxiety. And
yeah, every time I see logs, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
You see logs, I see Final Destination.
Yeah. I also have a new fear of tanning beds that I didn't know existed from the 3rd film. It's the one death I can't watch.
Yeah, they're all scary.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually watching the plane crash scene. I was like, that's it.
Yeah, I can't.
Like,
anything with plane crashes, I can't watch it.
I was weirdly fine with it. It's like, oh, they just all get burned. I thought it was probably more like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, no, they just all burn. Just burned to death. Do something more interesting. Fall onto a sail post. Get decapitated.
Just pierce it right in the middle of the airplane.
Yeah. Like, have somebody fly out the window and pull a Molly Harper and get cut in half by the.
I'm always afraid the bottom of the plane's gonna drop out. That's my fear when I fly.
I think mine is just simply it's just gonna crash.
That is true.
Yeah, just simple crash. Anyway, enough about actually I'm not going to be enough because I will mention it again after this episode. George, he's really going through a journey. He's learning survival skills. He's learning how to wash. He's learning how to make fire.
He's learning how to carry things.
Yeah, he's learning how to cook.
That's good for someone, though. I mean, like,
yeah,
I'm glad that it teaches him something.
Yeah. We go around him being the alpha male of the tribe. I love how he never says he's the strongest. He just says he's the alpha because, like,
exactly.
he knows these women are strong. He's like not one of those. He's not a Simon or an Emmett.
Yeah. And then
Unless
it cuts to Danny. I'm the alpha. It's like
yeah, which to be fair, probably true.
probably true, but
You're taking my job from me because that was my next note.
see.
Just
And
that's a sign.
I like how every time they show George like lifting something, they cut to Danny lifting something even heavier.
Yeah, which only shows that women are just as strong as men can be. It doesn't matter what your
Exactly.
sex is; it just matters how much you go to the gym.
Exactly.
Because as somebody who watches the challenge, I know a lot. I've seen a lot of strong women that can easily destroy men in
Yeah.
eliminations. Cara,
God.
not this Cara, Cara Maria.
Yeah. A good Cara Maria, yeah.
Evelyn, Coral, Laurel. Laurel could destroy people.
Exactly.
Yes.
She's nuts.
Yeah. I'm a Cara Maria stan, so by law I have to hate her. But I actually felt more sympathy for her when she was on X on the Peak, and I was like, oh my god, this show makes me like you now.
Hmm.
I don't like it. Anyway, back to Australian Survivor. One day we'll finish this season. Danny's real alpha. The women want to swing Way and Haley, just like everybody else. It's like they're not even going to try with George and Cara. It's like, no, Way and Haley.
Yeah.
Which I think might be. It could. Are Way and Haley the best people to sway? Or maybe they should try and get George and Cara to swing? Or maybe they should just separate and be like survival of the fittest.
To be honest, I don't know why they're not bringing George and Cara on and trying to get rid of Haley, because Haley is clearly better physically than George. I feel like Haley and George are like equally the same strategically, but Haley can easily
Win challenges.
exactly. So I don't know why they're not trying to get George and Cara, but to each their own, I guess. And I don't know why I don't know why Danny wants to get George out so bad. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I think it's because that's like the narratives. Like everyone believes he's like automatically going to win the season, but then they talk about how he's not going to win the season. It's confusing. It's like they're targeting him, but you're saying it doesn't matter if he gets to the end, he's not going to win.
Right.
My point of him being the Russell Hantz of this season is becoming even more true as we speak. Immunity challenge. Collect balls and throw them.
Love it.
Yes. Simple, cool obstacles. Way doesn't do it.
Yeah.
No.
This whole from this point until the next episode's tribal is by far this. I have something to say next tribal council, but
About Way or just about situations?
Situations and Way.
Situations that involve Way.
Yeah. Okay. So I like that. I like that that Way. She gets like, I know I'm not gonna be able to do it, so I might not even try. Okay?
I don't think she was a fan of any swimming challenges.
Yeah, and so
Maybe
it's like,
swim.
But I like how George, even though he knew he wasn't very good, he at least tried. I really wish he would have jumped and he at least tried it, but I'm glad he at least attempted.
Yeah,
okay?
He swam to one pontoon, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of heights in the water. I'm afraid of like swimming in that kind of water, but I would at least attempt it. But I'm just glad that somebody who has that fear at least attempted it. But
yeah,
people are gonna say what they want to say, but
yeah,
at least he attempted.
Until I can understand what Way, because you never know. Fear can easily take over. If we go back to, actually, maybe this is too extreme. I was going to make the reference to Champions vs. Contenders 2 when Sarah wouldn't jump, but to be fair, now that I'm thinking about it, her reason is definitely more extreme than maybe Way's ability to she doesn't like swimming and is not good at it.
Right.
I would have done this. I would have done it because challenges are fun to me. I'm one of these people that's like, yay, fun! I'm just drowning.
Yeah, I would attempt every challenge. So
yeah, and it wasn't that high, as well. I think it just would have looked high looking down, but in reality, it did not look that high.
Yeah,
like we've seen people jump off of higher.
Mm-hmm.
Tribal immunity, tight race between Haley and Flick. But when Flick gets to Flick and Haley, they cannot throw a ball.
No.
No.
And was it Flick that was trying like this? Like she was trying to push it?
I think so.
I'm like, what? In what universe is that going to work?
She's a surfer, not a basketball player. She works
Got
with her
it.
feet, not her hands.
Sure.
Yeah, and Haley, she's not good at sports.
Trying.
Yeah, she's trying. Cara gets up, but she gets a ball. Danny arrives, queen of throwing, apparently.
Hmm.
And she gets a ball. Haley eventually gets a ball. Cara gets a ball, and now she's in this challenge.
As soon as Cara landed it, I'm like, this is it. This is it. The Cara's going to get it.
Like, oh my god, is she gonna win?
It's the music. It was the music that I'm like, Cara's going to get it right now.
Yeah, watch her get, like, oh my god, is Cara gonna win an immunity? But no, Danny, the queen of not the queen of immunity, the queen of throwing, gets the immunity win.
Woohoo!
Ooh. Your first individual immunity necklace, which you've already worn already. Because that stupid 3 immunity win streak. And then you won the fire making to be the sole vote person. That twist was horrible. One of the worst twists.
Didn't like it. Not a fan.
Nope. Pre-tribal talk. Since Danny won immunity, it seems like Flick is the obvious target to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Apparently the Brains Alliance is called the Royal Fam.
I love it.
Yeah. We got King George, Queen Haley, Joker Cara, and Squire Way.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I like how Haley was pretty much promising Danny, "Oh, I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys." But she's doing exactly what she's doing. Like she came in saying she didn't want to do again.
No, she said she said she came in with what she was doing in the beginning, being in the middle and having all the control.
Gotcha.
Because that's what she was like in the early tribals, like the Mitch tribal and the fake Cara tribal. It was like everybody trying to get Haley and Rachel, but now it's Haley and Way.
Right.
She just wants to play the middle. And then when she lost the middle power, she became Miss Throw Everybody Under the Bus and hope for a Terry Chaney moment. Like I said, I constantly talk about the movie. But then she was the one hit by the bus, but then she came back and now she's been reborn back to what she played in the beginning.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Everyone's just getting hit by buses.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is worried that Way and Haley are going to flip because they have a reputation of flipping.
Mm-hmm. That they do.
Yeah. Cara specifically gets worried. So worried, she thinks about maybe they're probably going to flip and split the votes. Maybe I should play my idol. To where George is like, no need, they're fine. You're just stressing.
I understand Cara's concern, but I would not use my idol. And no, if anything, I'm playing it on George.
Again.
Like, there is no way they're voting for you. No way.
Yeah,
like,
why would they? They know that you're not voting for them because you're voting for Laura every time.
But if you do play your thing, if you do play your idol on George, it's 2-2 Flick, and they would just vote for you, I guess. I mean, I get it, but I don't know why she did it. But
yeah. So yeah, Danny, you mentioned this, how Haley was like, I'm 100% with Danny on all that. Both Haley and Way were saying like, if the other is in, then I'm doing it too, which is a little annoying. So I always have it's be like, if you want to do it, just do it. If you don't want to do it, then just say, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, just do what Haley did. Don't be like, oh, as long as she's on board, then I'm fine. Just be like, yeah, totally.
And see, I'm not really a fan of how Danny's telling everyone else to play their game. Like that, it's starting to rub me like, quit telling people what to do. And it's like, I like how she thinks that a good game move is having Way come to her side. It's like, that's not a good game move for
That's
Way.
Good for you to not have your ally voted off, but
yeah, it's a good game move if it benefits me, but if it doesn't benefit me, it's not a good game move.
Yeah. It's always annoys me with Survivor players, specifically super fans. I've said this multiple times that super fans are not good at Survivor. And I stand by that. because they think they know how the game works. Like, oh, I have to do this, this, and this, and then I win. If anyone else doesn't do it, then they're idiots.
Oh.
I think Adam in Winners at War is definitely like a prime example of that, and why I know he's great. Like, he's a Survivor fan, like he's one of us, but like he's so annoying to watch game wise. I'm sure he's nice as a person, but
Yeah, he's very nice. I mean, I've met him and I've played with
you
him.
lucky bastard.
Yeah, I've met him and I've played
you
Survivor
played with him and got
so
rock drawn out
yeah, no.
because of him.
He played when I played with him. I didn't play on his tribe per se. But
You were on his swap tribe with him.
No, I've never been. I played at Durham Warriors with him, and I never have been.
Oh, I was making fun of the fact that you have the same name as somebody he played with on Millennials vs. Gen X.
No, I've actually played with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What
and
was that
so,
like?
he's nice. I like that as a person, but I've never played a game with him. So, yeah.
Adam, if you'd like to meet, hi. I know I just shit talked you, but I just say that about game players. I like people as people. Where am I? Oh yeah, this is when we really start hating the urn twist, because the constant talk that we're hearing from Haley and Way is that what if we flip and George gets the urn? We already know he's the production's favorite.
And I don't understand Cara's obsession with the urn. Like, she's like, oh, I'm terrified of the urn. It's like, what does the urn have to do with you?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, so she's gonna play her idol because an urn might be. That doesn't make any sense to me.
An urn might save her.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
That she's gonna get saved again.
I still don't understand that.
Yeah, we hear Way and Haley just go on about saying like, oh, they're worried about the urns because let's say they do flip on George and he gets saved, then you're gonna have that wrath against you. Rather, if you just vote for Flick and she gets saved, it's just whatever.
Right.
So we get to tribal. Danny just outright says, yeah, Haley and Way are flipping to our side. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. And I just like how they're just like sitting in the middle, like, oh.
Of course they were. It's always weird how like production seats everyone. Because like how it was in the early merge, where it was like Haley, Way, Baden, Laura, and who am I forgetting?
Rachel?
Andrew. No,
yep.
Rachel wasn't.
Yep.
Rachel was already voted off.
Yep, Rachel.
We're always sitting at like the very end of no matter what side it was, and it was constantly like the majority Brawn, George, and Cara alliance on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then now with like Haley and Way constantly playing the middle, they're sitting in the middle.
Right.
Just choose their seating.
To be honest, I'm not sure.
I wouldn't. Somebody tell us.
I wouldn't doubt it, but I'm not sure, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Oh. So we get to the votes. Flick goes home 4-2. She picks up her urn, and there's a scroll in it. At first, I
didn't see it, and I thought I was like empty, and then I saw it off to the side. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't see it at all because they didn't show it. You just saw Flick go like, I kind of wish she was like, oh my god, there's nothing.
Yes.
But Flick gets saved. Apparently, to get saved at fake tribals, you just have to be blonde.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're taking the RuPaul Drag Race All-Stars approach, whereas like you have to be white and blonde to win. You have to be white and blonde to be saved.
Maybe that's the trick.
Yeah, just be white and blonde. And that's why we have BB23.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Claire. How do you feel about Flick being saved?
I feel like it was almost rigged for George if he was supposed to go home.
I heard so many people like come up with conspiracy, be like, "Oh, if George gets voted out, all the urns have save, and if it's not
that's
George,
what I was wondering.
They're all empty and blank."
That's what I was wondering. But it's like, how do they know until the votes are read?
I'm sure like people in confessionals be like, "So, are you voting for George? So, what's your plan? Do you plan on voting for George?" Oh, yeah. You know, when they go to sort out the votes and be like, "Okay, we have to put them in order to be read out, so it's dramatic." They like how George has the most votes. Fill all the urns with save.
But I thought they were already filled before when they got there, or did they put them out after they get there?
They're already there when they're there. I just have this weird vision in my hands, like when they're doing it, it's like, okay, we're just gonna break for 5 minutes, and then somebody just like switches the urns when people are just talking to be like, "Hmm?"
Yeah, I feel like the urns were 100% filled with safe votes.
Yeah, yeah. But before that happens, Cara plays her idol.
I
Stupid.
can't. I literally can't. And
Yeah.
I still don't understand the urn thing.
Cara should not be given idols because she does not know how to use them well,
Nope.
unless they're on George to get rid of her.
Can't. I can't with her.
Another, in George's words, iconic Cara moment.
I really thought she was gonna say I play this for George. But it wouldn't mattered anyway.
I played this for Flick.
Oh my God.
I played this for Laura. She's already gone.
I can't.
Play this. Since you played this idol for Laura, you're back in the game.
Oh my God. That'd be
woo!
Literally.
Laura, you've just been voted off by Cara again. Sorry, you're the only name I know how to write.
She's learning.
Yeah, George is too long. Danny, I don't know if it's 2 N's or 2 I's. Flick is weird, and I don't know how to spell way.
See, when I saw her writing down Flick, I thought to myself, she just messed this up. Because I thought that Way and George were supposed to vote for Flick, and the other and Danny.
Oh, you're talking about the next episode. Because the next episode,
yes, you are right. You are right.
Danny.
You are right. Because I thought she messed it up, and I was like, "Yep, she just messed this up."
Yeah. Also, while the votes are being read, there was 3 different ways Flick's name was written. There was Felicity, Flick, and then Flick without a K.
Love it.
So many ways to write down just one name, and
Just
it's like I was gonna make a reference, then I forgot. Oh yeah, like whenever in College Survivor, people misspell other people's names like on purpose.
I would have wrote down F. I would have wrote down just F.
Yeah, I mean, somebody did that in Champions vs Contenders 1. Benji, whenever he just vote for Heath, he literally just wrote an H.
Heath, this is my vote for you. Just H.
Yeah, because nobody else on the tribe began with an H. No, nobody else. Not even the people that were voted off. And after all that, we get to episode 21, the last one of this category. Everyone is so overjoyed with the fact that Flick is... Nope, not Flick. The rain. They're overjoyed with the rain. It's raining.
Finally, after 40-something days, 42 days?
Yeah, 42 days of straight heat, they get rain.
That's crazy.
I mean, when you're out there for that long in the blazing heat, you do kind of like do a rain dance every hour or so, not only to pass time, but just to hope that it actually does work.
You almost need the rain.
Yeah. It's raining, hallelujah. Flick feels lucky to be saved, and she's on borrowed time. This is where I'm bringing a Final Destination once again. It's like she got saved from a natural disaster, and it's just a matter of time before death hits her with a bus.
Exactly.
Or a car, or an ambulance, or half the people that die in those films.
She's just waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to come back.
It's like, am I going to get run over by a bus? Am I going to burn in a tanning bed? Am I going to fall out a window after a LASIK surgery burns my eye?
She's just going to drown in a challenge.
Yeah. The pro surfer drowning in the actually, that sounds like Final Destination. Oh, I'm still remembering the 4th film and the pool death. It was so disgusting. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want us to get demonetized.
Please don't.
Yeah, just know the 4th film, while people do say it's horrible because the deaths are really bad, because they are, there's one in it that's just like, no.
Yeah, I can't watch
that. And the escalator scene. So Flick comes back, everyone is fake happy, but they're still on the bottom.
Doesn't change.
And, yeah. speaking of doesn't change, they're still trying to flip Wayne Haley. It didn't work the first time, but maybe let's try it again without the urns.
Exactly. I'm just glad that the urns are gone.
Yeah, thank God. They were only there for like a tribal or two,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't used to save George. Is the season rigged for Flick to win?
I
Who
was
knows?
shocked, to be honest. I was shocked that they. I wonder how it would have affected it if the urns were still like the fourth. Like it would have made it to the fourth urn.
Oh yeah, like what happens? Let's say Flick, it was blank. Flick went home. Let's say Danny didn't win immunity. It was blank and it still went home, and we're at final four. So it's just like, well, if you get voted off, you just come back right into the game.
Yeah,
Or
I
did they
wonder what happened.
I say if it went down to two, both would have had a safe vote in it.
Maybe, yeah.
Because, yeah. Borrow time. So George. Oh, we get George worrying about Cara's idol play, being like, "Why did you play an idol?
Yeah.
Nobody bar us knew about it." And that just makes him more worried that Haley and Wait will flick because Jesus Christ, will flip because they didn't know about the idol, and everyone keeps telling them that George is not trustworthy, and well, they've also said it themselves. This kind of just proves it more. Like when you're in alliance, you're supposed to be extremely open with everyone. Be like, yeah, I have this idol disadvantage, and I voted for you 7 times already. I tried to vote for you last night, but I couldn't because your name's not Laura.
I'm telling you.
But Cara tries to come up with an excuse. I mean, like, oh, I was just super worried about the urns, which
I still don't get it.
Yeah, like you're worried that the urns are going to save you.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think it would have been hilarious if it somehow came to a rock draw, and then the person that drew the bad rock got saved with the urn.
Could be.
Imagine all that. Imagine it was a 3-3 and then a 2-2, and then it's like they couldn't come to a decision. Rocks happen. Cara plays it. Haley gets the rock and be like, "You're saved after all that shenanigans."
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, now I kind of wish that did happen. We have more to talk about than a simple 4-2 vote. Blames the urns for her idol play. Nobody's buying it.
No.
Reward challenge. Grab a bag, make a pole, throw bags into a spinning target. The spinning target part was actually kind of interesting.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Partway through the challenge, George gives up.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
And gets tan. He's like, why bother? Danny is going to win this. Once again, it's between Flick, Haley, and Danny in order to win the reward. And Danny wins the reward. She's the queen of throwing. She wins a spa day.
Ooh.
Brings Flick and brings Haley. Are these the right two people to bring?
Flick, I understand, yes, because you're not gonna.
They're besties.
Yeah.
They voted for each other.
To be honest, it's fine. I mean, can't really go
typical.
wrong.
You bring your one ally you're on the bottom with, and then one person that you're trying to flick.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say you're trying to flick.
Yeah, it's you can't go wrong because you don't really have much choice. So
yeah, everyone believes that Haley controls Way. It's like if Haley agrees, Way will agree.
Right.
Which is kind of like sad because it's like you don't want to feel like nobody has their own decisions.
Right.
But they talk. Talk game again. Target. Oh yeah, they get to the spa. Everyone is like crying tears of joy because it's like they have a bed, it's soap, shower, and I probably would cry. And they're spending the whole night together. It's not just a couple of hours eating food; it's an entire night. They're sleeping with each other. That's how committed that they want to be.
That's crazy. That bed looked really comfy.
Yeah, it did so much.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
that would be a cool reward. An overnight.
I'm trying to remember what was the sponsored. Oh yeah, it was like
Tylenol. Tylenol sponsored. Love
yeah,
Tylenol.
it's like isn't that a brand of like headache pills?
Yes, and yeah.
Oh, you Americans are obsessed with it for some reason.
No, Tylenol sponsored the reward.
Yeah. For some reason, Americans are obsessed. Like, you ask for a Panadol, and they're like, "Oh, Tylenol." No,
Tylenol.
just a regular paracetamol. Oh, Tylenol.
Tylenol's the best. It's so good.
Yeah, we just have plain pills here because we're always popping them in there. What is it? Oh, Cara just. Oh yeah, everyone is talking about how Kara's just playing for second at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's like she's not playing. She's playing for George to win, and it's like one of those situations where it's like she's not really playing for herself. She's just playing that somebody she likes wins.
Yeah.
Which is like, it was mentioned earlier with Baden back in Redemption Rock, which I really wish they used as the camp. It was so pretty.
It was pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah, where Haley was like, this isn't like a Tour de France where it's like somebody on your team wins, you win.
Right.
And I think that's like, not to bring up Big Brother 23 again and to talk about another show. That's probably why majority alliances are really boring, especially day one ones. And the one situation we're in, because like they're not really playing for themselves, they're just playing like, oh, as long as one of the alliance members wins, like we all win. But at least what they're doing is for a good cause. Team Tiffany and Hannah, anyone else wins?
Woo!
Nah. Yeah. I think the one thing that will annoy me about that alliance is if Derek ever also wins and is like, seriously, they won.
Yeah.
They have no game.
Yeah.
And I know everyone is like weirdly obsessed with Ozzo. She's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the moonwalk gif is hilarious of her falling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Haley wants to keep her options open. She's pulling a real Kim Spradlin moment, being like, I always want to have options.
Options.
Yeah, options.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I made a tweet about this. I think we should make it, if we ever do this again, we should make a new drinking game, being like, every time somebody says resume, we take a shot.
Yes, I agree.
With
Haley
this
loves to talk about her resume.
Yeah, this or Big Brother. Whenever somebody just says resume, you just take a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're obsessed with them. George says he doesn't need food to win.
Love it. He just relies on his social game.
Yeah, with Cara. But his worries that Haley would flip because she has a history of flipping.
My mom wants to know why we're dissing George.
Because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
Like, if we're here to talk nice about George.
Yeah, we want him to win, but we talk shit about him. We love George.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I just want other people to win more.
Oh.
It's a weird thing with me. I always root for women to win more over men. It's because men know they're usually better.
Yeah.
It's like very few times I wanted a man to win. I think the only time I remember like me rooting for a guy to win was like David versus Goliath, like with Nick or Christian or Davey, because like, well, obviously they're great. But I was like still rooting for Gabby mostly.
Yes, love Gabby.
Yeah, love you, Gabby.
She's the best.
Yeah, I was going to say something that I forgot. Immunity challenge. It's like this whole obstacle course things. I can't remember the exact details, but there's a word puzzle at the end, and we haven't gotten that in at all.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a couple different. Oh, is the rope? You have to untangle yourself with the rope, then go over the thing.
Oh, here we go. Unspool rope, slide tiles, word puzzle.
Hmm. And the smashing with the hammer that Way could barely pick up.
Yeah, I said that Way can barely lift the hammer. That be me. Like, actually no, because I've used the sledgehammer before. I know how to use them, but still, that was hilarious. Haley gets an early lead, followed by Flick and Danny. Nothing new there. Everyone is struggling with the word puzzle, but Way is the last one to get there. But Way wins the immunity challenge. Woo! Proving why you never give up. And
I was really hoping it would have been George. I was really hoping, but
of course you were.
I was so hoping it would have been George, but that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. Once I saw there was a word challenge, I was like, oh, I think it'd be so much fun if like Way was like behind everyone, and then once she gets to the puzzle, she wins it. And then it happens. I manifest the future.
Yeah, she went so fast. And it's like, I don't feel like she needed to go that fast.
I mean, you never know with these people.
That is true.
Like, guaranteed spot in the final 5,
Uh-huh.
and I would not win this challenge, not because I wouldn't know word puzzles, because I can't spell.
I can't spell either.
Yeah, if you tell me to spell a 10-letter word, I'll be like,
Well, we know Susan would definitely not win this challenge. Susan
no,
definitely cannot spell.
no, she would have not spelled 5. She wouldn't have
Yeah.
spelled 2 right. It would have been OT.
Exactly. No, it would have not been good.
No. So it's a very emotional win. Everyone is crying. Everyone loves telling not Haley, Way, like how much of an inspiration she is.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden she wins and now she's an inspiration. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, people in the jury house have been saying how inspirational Way is. We just don't see it.
Exactly.
I think
And I
it's
want to know
because-
why. I want to know why she's so inspirational. Tell me why.
I think it's because if you look at Way, what do you see? Let's go all the way back to before the season started. When you first saw Way, did you think Final 5 or did you think early merge boot?
Honestly, it was either merge boot or she was going all the way because people were going to take her there. That was my people were either going to take her there or she was going to go early.
Well, when you look at stereotypical Survivor and you look at Way, you see female, older, not that tall, usually a first boot. And she almost was until she got saved by George.
Right.
And then ever since then, she's still surviving. It's like somebody who is not good at challenges.
Yeah.
Not that tall, not that fast of a runner, not that great of a swimmer, and she's still there and at the final 5.
Right. That's
And
true.
she was so behind, and then she just comes to the end and wins. I think that's what everyone is saying, like she's such an inspiration. It's like, it's something we don't see on Survivor. If you're not like the young fit guy or the bitchy woman, you usually don't. Actually, no, if you're just not a guy, you usually just don't make it that far.
That's true.
And if you're a girl, you're usually the pretty goat, like a very Natalie Tenderelli, or you're. Oh, I need another example of a woman who makes it far but doesn't do well. You're a Cara who's just second fiddle to someone.
That's true.
Or you're Chrissy, where you play this great game, but you're a Cass. You play this great game, but you're not respected.
Right.
Why? Because you don't have a penis.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So seeing somebody like Way, older, not good at challenges, kind of, I don't want to say emotional, because when usually people say that, you think of like wailing tears and constant screaming, but like a little more in touch with the emotions and not as stone cold rock. You usually see that go like pre-merge, maybe during a swap if we're lucky, but seeing it Final 5, that has to be inspirational to some people at least.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad she finally won something.
Yeah, that was a really long explanation of. I need to learn how to shorten these down.
Okay.
We get back to camp and we hear this new story about Danny and Flick being on the bottom.
It's so new. I can't.
And shockingly enough, they decide to come up with this great plan to flip Way and Haley. Totally original. Yeah, third time's the charm.
That's the hope. That's the hope.
But they still know that. Oh wait, when does Flick find the idol? I never write. But since both of them don't have immunity, they decide to go with a good old classic: split the votes. We'll vote Flick. We'll vote Haley.
Mm-hmm.
We'll vote Danny.
Right.
While Danny and Flick propose the exact same story. We'll vote George, you vote. Actually, no, we'll vote Cara, you vote George. Because once again, everyone's arguing over who gets to write down George's name.
See, and that is, I thought to myself, I wonder if Way and Haley thought, let's do George so that way we can decide who goes home, because they can always decide if Danny goes home or if Cara goes home, because they obviously want George to go.
Yeah. Similar to a George strategy all the way back when Rachel went home, when it was like, I'll vote for Emmett, but I put myself in a situation where I could vote for Emmett, I could vote for Rachel, I could vote for Laura. Either way, my vote is the deciding one.
Right.
So they're just copying him.
Exactly. See? George is an inspiration.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at camp, everyone is hunting for an idol because it's Australian Survivor, and there has to be at least 16 idols hidden at camp for somebody to find. While this is happening, I'm sure everyone that's not a George fan was thinking, oh, for God's sake, another way for George to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Flick finds the idol. Again, is the season rigged for Flick? Have we been bamboozled all this time?
I think we have been.
Yeah.
I really wish George would have found, not found it, but like saw them getting it. That would have been even better.
Yeah, you think Flick literally holding it on top of a giant mountain, being like, I found it! Would have like been a signal, but no. So yeah, Flick finds the idol. Hopefully it goes better than when she actually finds one and not given one because of Kez.
Did you not
So
know
yeah.
Haley did that to them? Earlier in the season, Haley's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play for me or her." You don't know who.
Yeah, Craig intermittent said that she should have learned from Haley and said, "I have an idol. I'm going to play for Danny or myself. Pick one." Since
I think in that situation, they kind of knew, it's like, we're splitting the vote, so it didn't matter which one you played it for. The other would be going.
Yeah.
Well, with Haley, when she was like that, they didn't really have the numbers to split the votes. So I think that's like definitely a different situation. And we kind of saw what happened last time Flick had a public idol that everybody knew about.
Yeah, it did not end very well.
No. Poor Gerald.
Aww.
I would say we miss you, but we don't remember. Well, I don't remember you. Actually, I do. I have a weird memory. I mean, I just said I know every Final Destination death, having never seen the films.
Miss Gerald.
Yeah. Well, maybe All Stars.
We'll see.
We'll see. Tribal happens. Everybody's talking. Flick feels like the jury should know that George gave up in the immunity challenge. And you can see the reaction on the jury's faces being like, for God's sake, this guy.
I can't. So, but okay, so here's what I wanted to say. And as soon as Flick said that, I said, okay, good on her throwing George under the bus. But George did not give up in an immunity challenge. He gave up in a reward challenge. It does not matter, but she's not going to say anything about Way giving up in an immunity challenge 2 rounds ago because she has an immunity necklace on her neck. So I don't understand what. I don't understand. Like, you're going to say shit about George giving up in a reward challenge, but not Way giving up in an immunity challenge. That, to me, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also a prime reason to not vote George out. Obviously, he's going to give up and or not do good. Clearly, he can't win, so that's a reason to not vote him out. That's just mine.
Everyone talks about how George is like a shoo-in to win once it gets to the end, but they keep bringing up all these reasons on why he's not going to win.
Yeah.
Like Danny and Flick say, be careful how you treat the people that you're sending to the jury, because we remember the game. And especially with right now the jury being majority Brawn, Gerald, Emmett.
Yeah, it's majority.
Oh no, it's majority Brain. Baden, Laura, Andrew, and then just Emmett and Gerald. And now it's a tie with Danny there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, remember Andrew flips? He's Brawn now. He's Brawn.
Nobody remembers who he is. But okay, majority of the jury, all of the jury are competitors. They're people who are like never give up and all that phooey. So hearing that somebody gave up in a challenge, no matter what it is, they're not going to be happy. It's like they're going to be like, we would give our all in that challenge, and the fact that he's sitting there and not trying, where we're sitting here.
Yeah, but you got to say the same about Way, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, Way doesn't have a shot to win.
Well, according to the Ponderosa, she does. So
yeah,
that's
but Way is not George.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, Way is not George. So why throw innocent Way in front of that bus when you can just target George there? And that's another thing. They're targeting George, not Way. Way is immunity. Has George ever won an immunity?
Exactly. No. So that's why you don't vote him out.
And this is technically says Way's second immunity, because if we go back to that whole double tribal situation where she also won individual immunity
Yeah.
there, and
And
she
it's-
finished in second place.
You got to vote out Haley, who has won multiple immunity.
Yes, and is a threat
is-
to win.
This is the prime time to vote her out when she has no protection.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect way to go to George and Cara and be like, "Hey, we know that Haley has Way under her thumb. She's great at the endurance immunities, which is usually what the final three immunity is.
Right.
Let's vote for her." But no, everyone's so fixated on George being the only man. Survivor hates men, apparently.
Do. Men and women.
Yeah,
Men and women are alike.
and apparently non-binary people because they go home first because of friendship bracelet twists. Survivor just hates people in general.
Really do.
Yeah, let's make Survivor Pets Edition.
What do you think? No? My pets would not do very good. They'd eat
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, because they'd be starving because they're on an island.
Mhm. My pet's
So-
eating dirt. That's how that's how good she would do.
They're playing Survivor right now.
Yes, she's eating dirt.
Yeah, they're currently at the final 13. They
Yeah.
just made the merge.
Resort to eating dirt.
So everyone goes to vote, and again, the people really need to fix the way they edit because the votes that they're showing are in the wrong order.
Yeah. At first,
'Cause-
I thought that something was gonna go wrong or bad.
Oh, with Cara voting for Flick.
Yeah, I was like, she's gonna mess it up. 100% gonna mess it
Yeah.
up.
No, I think in the original it was like George and Haley were supposed to vote Danny, Way and Cara were supposed to vote for Flick.
Gotcha.
What they messed up is when they were reading out the votes, the first Danny vote was in Way's handwriting. The first
Oh.
Flick vote. One of the votes was in Way's handwriting, and it was not revealed who Way voted for. So I was like, oh well, Danny and or Flick is going home. See, this is how I'm obsessed with the weird show. I notice things like that.
Craig noticed that too. He's like, well, we know that Danny
Way
Flick's-
didn't flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Handwriting is a big deal. This is why in
It really is.
orgs it's easier to type it out because it's a font.
Mm-hmm. You don't know who's going
And
home.
you can notice who uses the same font over and over and what style.
Mm-hmm.
So we get after the vote, it's a 2-2-2 tie between Flick, Danny, and Cara. George doesn't even get a single vote.
That's crazy. That's
and
wild.
neither does Haley.
Wild to me.
Yeah. So after the revote, it's decided that Danny goes home 3-0-0.
Finally. Finally.
I was about to say, what are your thoughts? But
No, I liked Danny. I really did. I liked Danny. She's kind of like George in a way that people keep voting for her and she won't go home, but she finally went home. I just don't understand what the obsession with George was. But she was a great competitor and she had a lot of airtime and I'm going to miss her.
she got
So,
a lot of airtime near the end of the swap because
right. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, this set of episodes was doomed for people who had no airtime at the merge.
Right.
Not the merge, the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I liked Danny.
Yeah. She is once again proving the car curse to be true.
Oh, yes. I forgot the car
Yeah,
curse.
if she just didn't win that car, then she'd still be in the game.
Yes. See, this is why you don't go for the car.
No, you give it to George.
Yeah. You let Haley win the car.
Yeah, let Haley.
That's why.
It still amazes me the fact that trial happened, and the only two people that did not get votes that could were George and Haley. The
That's
two biggest
wild.
threats to win.
That's why their social game is so strong. I'm telling you. That's wild.
So, Danny, welcome to the group of 2-2-2 voted off people.
Ooh, not very
You're
big.
going- No, only happened 4 times in the US. This is the 3rd time in Australian, and 1 time in that season that you have no idea what it is. I will say it's one of the best moves ever that I've seen in a fan-made Survivor. He got voted off with an idol
Nice.
in a 2-2-2 situation because 2 people in the final 6 were like, "Hey, do you want to just like vote for this person?" And they're like, "Sure." And then he ended up going home.
Hmm.
Oh, well done, Jerry and Caleb.
Yeah, it's not a big
And
group.
the previous 2 Australian people voted off, you probably have no memory of.
Yeah, I remember Tegan and Steve W comes to mind, but I don't remember him. But Tegan, I definitely remember.
Just to let you know, that's not the Tegan from Chancer's Contenders.
She's the one with the hat, right? The small one with the hat, right? I'm gonna Google her. Tegan, Tegan, Austria.
She's from the 2016 season.
2016.
Maybe she was more memorable than I thought.
Yeah, I remember her. She was one with Nick, right? That made up the
Yeah. Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
Everyone
remember
was
her.
thinking she was unmemorable and
Yeah, no.
and people mixed her up.
Yeah, no, I remember her.
And then the 2 that oh wow, I just realized Bryce,
See-
John, and Lindsay all in seasonal order. And then Liz. I always noticed that like when it was like a blue tribe of 6, it's always like the pretty young girl that goes home in like a 2-2-2 situation with like Liz and Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 episodes. What were your thoughts?
I'm glad that Andrew finally went home. I am
We hate him.
I'm glad Flick was saved. I'm glad that to be honest, I'm glad that it wasn't George, so he can't say he was voted out and then brought back. So
yeah, because we don't need production save with him even more.
Exactly. And I'm glad it was Danny and not George or Haley. So I'm interested now to see who the final, because we know that Flick's going to be saved.
Because she still has her idol.
Exactly. But what happens if she wins individual immunity? Then the idol's just dead.
Pretty much. Unless she's like, to prove my loyalty to these 2 people, Way and Haley, I will play this idol for, I don't know, Haley.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What is going to happen next tribal since Flick is immune?
Cara's going.
Cara's going home.
That Cara's going to go home. That's my hope goal because, okay, so Haley or Flick is going to win immunity, and then it's going to be Haley, Way, and Flick are going to vote for Georgia Cara. That's my guess.
Probably.
Or the plot twist, George wins immunity and Cara still goes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think George is going to win immunity and Cara is just going to go home as a default.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people online are arguing saying that Haley made the wrong decision. We here at Live Reality Games respect the choices that people make. But for those who are saying Haley made the wrong decision, your opinion is wrong. She absolutely made the right decision. Do you agree?
With in regards to sending Danny home?
Yeah, instead of George.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because even though Danny is like, even though George is like more of a strategic threat, Danny will beat you in immunity challenges. George will not. So,
yeah, she already has.
Yeah, and so that is, I would say if Danny was like Way, who just won one random immunity challenge, then
And
maybe
had
not the right decision.
Moment.
Right. But since Danny is known for winning, then 100% the right decision.
2 rewards and an immunity under her belt.
And I love how George brought up the fact that Danny is the only person to win individual immunity or individual
rewards.
I love that he brought that up. That's great.
I think she's been on the most rewards out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Haley's first reward was the spa treatment.
Bless her.
I also think it's another good decision to vote off Danny because Danny and Flick in that tribal, they were listing reasons how George is not going to win the season. To Haley was like, well, if they don't respect his game, they'll probably respect mine.
Yeah.
So it's like they were giving reasons to keep George.
Right.
While pushing him under that bus. So we get to the point where now we rank placements.
Love a placement ranking.
Yep. Here is the Survivor. So I made a small adjustment that you probably don't notice. Hold on, I think. Nope, never mind. The size is right. I made a small adjustment. I moved Georgia up because looking at her original placement, which was underneath Hannah, I mean, she was not that bad
Yeah. That's fine.
compared to the other two. So first, we're going to talk about Andrew, which is something we know we love doing. He was voted off 7th place. We have in 7th place we have Shawnee in All Stars, Brooke in her first season 2016, Luke in his first season 2017, Steve W, who we just mentioned in Champions vs Contenders 1, and Simon, not this season Simon, from Champions vs Contenders 2. Now, where would you rank Emmett amongst this group?
No, Andrew.
Andrew.
I would
See,
say
I already
below Steve or Simon. Like
so either last or in between Steve and Simon.
right. Because in my personal opinion, he doesn't even come close to Shawnee, Brooke, and Luke.
Absolutely not. But is Steve W really better than him? If you can remember Steve W's game.
Let me look up Steve W. If I can, Steve W.
Was Steve in more than 3 episodes?
Yeah, was Steve in more than 3 episodes?
What do you mean?
Was he featured in more than 3 episodes, like Andrew?
I have no idea. I just remember him. I know he wasn't featured a lot. I don't even think he was featured that much in his boot episode. He was always like similar to like what I was saying with Cara. He was somebody that was like, "Oh, if I don't win, I want my ally Sharon to win."
Yeah, I don't really remember him. So let's just put Andrew above him because I don't even.
I was thinking that as well. Like, I don't know if it is just like recency bias talking, but neither of these two were that good. Jesus Christ, I don't know how to do this. Oh wait, here we go. So well done, Andrew. You're slightly better than 2 other alpha male competitor people that people don't remember. That weren't featured at all. Nope, not Anita. We like her. Andrew. This is also funny, and we're probably going to mention this I'm going to mention this when we get to the 4th place, but Brooke and Luke share the same placement in both seasons, in 2 different seasons.
Let's see.
Like, both of them got 7th, and both of them got 4th.
Huh.
In their first seasons, they both got 2nd. Their second season, they both got 4th.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, same with Shani. Only her first season, she got 4th, and her second season, she got 7th.
Sorry.
Those 3 love sharing placements. Now to Danny. In 6th place, we have the godmother herself, Janine, from Champions vs Contenders 2. You have Fenella from Champions vs Contenders 1. AK from in his All-Star seasons. Ziggy in the 2017 season. And Sam in the 2016 season. Where do we rank Danny in this group of people? This is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say Janine's... Is she better than Janine?
No.
Is she better than Fenella?
See, so I'm for Fenella in her first season, what did she do better than AK in his All-Star season?
I think it was because 1, she was more featured. 2, she only went home because of an idol play where AK did not. AK also had that stupid twist where it was like fire making, and he lost that.
This one's hard.
Fenella was on more right side of the votes than AK was.
Gotcha. I'm just a huge AK fan. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I like AK too. He also wasn't that well featured on All Stars, so it's hard to remember that much.
I would say like below AK, or
below AK, above Ziggy.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. What do you think?
I think since Danny does have like successful moves, I would put her above AK.
That's fine. Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep. And it's where's his
No, remember this is AK in All Stars, not
Yep.
AK in his original season.
Yeah, his original season he was way better.
Yeah, he's actually right there, number 1.
Yep.
In
Yes.
15th
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Last week's season.
So, oh, whoops. This is so complicated. Why did I do this? There we go. So, congratulations, Danny. You are
Ooh.
well. You just went ooh.
Ooh.
Danny joined 6th place.
Nice.
And with that, we only have 5 contestants left.
Did you notice
Cara-
how most of them are the brains and brawn are on like this side of the screen, like the third and under, like third place and below. That's not,
yeah,
not
people
good.
people have definitely pointed that out in some of my rankings. Like, oh, people from this one season are all in like the lower brackets. That's probably because they usually
Suck.
had a low opinion of them.
I'll suck.
They all sucked, bar these 1 or 2 people. So we only have 5 people left: Cara, George, Wei, Haley, and Flick.
Crazy. I did not think this would be the final 5 at all.
I was about to ask, did you thought that this would be the final 5?
No.
I did not at all.
To be honest, I don't even know who I thought the final 5 was going to be, but it was not this.
Yeah, it was definitely not this group of people. Maybe Haley was like the one person I believe, like maybe she'd make final 5.
But to be honest, I'm glad it is. I'm glad it is these final 5.
Yeah, like we could have had a final 5 of Andrew, Emmett, Simon. Yeah, imagine that. Like Andrew, I'm trying to name 2 other people, and I'm trying not to make them men.
Danny. Could you imagine if Danny made it to the end?
Yeah, I know, he was so boring.
Or Gerald.
Oh, he probably would have been entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notice that we keep mentioning men. None of the women.
Imagine a Gerald and Andrew final 2. Who wins? He just
No
rolls
one.
his eyes. No one. Laura.
Laura, pretty much. Cara just still writes down Laura's name. New drinking game. Take a shot whenever Cara writes down Laura's name.
Interesting.
I kind of want to do that, like just in like a random season of Survivor, like the newest season of Survivor 41. All right, pick a player. Whenever that person receives a vote, take a shot.
That's crazy. That 10 votes in the first episode, 10 shots.
I mean, that could happen in Australian Survivor. They get voted off 11-1. Like, shot.
I just can't wait for these next group of episodes because it's gonna be wild.
It will be like the 4 is going to crack. Will Flick be the only Brawn left? Will production rig it for someone else?
Because I feel like if Flick is in the end, Flick is gonna win.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Because she has like the story. She's lovely. She's not a horrible person.
Yeah.
She's not George.
Yeah, and so Flick can't make it to the end because if she does,
that's why
I feel like if she was against George or Haley, they might give her a run for her money. Because yes, she is all those things, but did she really do anything?
Okay, let's do hypotheticals since those are fun. Let's say it's Flick and Haley because that's more of a fight. So George, Cara, and Wei are on the jury.
Oh, Haley wins for sure.
Now let's say it's George and Flick with Haley, George, and Wei on the jury. Who wins?
I still think George wins because
does Flick really have a chance to win?
Flick wins against Wei and Cara.
So does George and Haley.
Yeah, and so because I feel like Flick has gotten voted out and Haley has gotten voted out.
And Cara's gotten voted off.
Exactly. The only people who haven't.
Wei was saved because of the twist. And George's productions, all of them have been saved by something.
George is production. He's saving all these people.
Yes, George is production.
Oh my god. Imagine George hosting next season.
It makes sense now.
That's why he's in the final.
I get it. The light bulb went off.
Yeah. Speaking of the people who George saved, 2 of them are with him in the end. Because he saved Cara and Wei. He did
Mhm.
not save Haley, and Flick wasn't on the original tribe. Also, Flick is the last Brawn standing.
Right.
Did you say
That's
she'd
why.
be the last one?
Yeah, that's why I'm worried if she makes it to the end.
Yeah, because she does have that story, like, I'm the last Brawn,
Yeah.
and I managed to out-survive all these brains.
Right. That's what scares me.
Yeah. That's why I think Flick is going to
Adam?
get, like... I feel like Flick is going to
Yeah.
get the Brooke edit in All-Stars, where it's like, she's a threat, but wins immunity until Final Four.
Yeah, Craig just brought up that Flick has the Adam storyline. It's almost the exact same. Well, kind of, but the storyline about sick parent, well, like
Oh.
comes from behind, makes it to the end, outlasts everyone else. So I feel like it's almost the same storyline. So
Yeah. Hopefully people won't say you used the sob story to win, because
yeah,
that is hurtful to say, like, oh, he used the death of a family member as,
Yeah.
like, a plan to win.
right. I don't think she would do that, but
Yeah. As much as I said I didn't like Adam's game in Winners at War and how I would have voted for Hannah in Millennials versus Gen X, well, you had such a big reaction.
there was a fly that just flew in front of my face and scared the shit out of me. Holy shit.
I like to think it's because of my. I like to think it's
know.
because I said I would have voted for Hannah over Adam.
No, I had a big fly in my face.
Uh,
Crazy.
I can't tell if that is because of bias or because I actually do believe Hannah played a better game.
My dog is playing Survivor. She's resorting to eating the plants to win. She's looking for an idol in the plant.
Wow.
She's gonna
pulling
win.
a real Emmett, being like the plant-based superhero.
She's gonna win.
Win Survivor.
Yes.
So before we end up, one day we'll end this stream. I want a quick prediction on how the season's going to go with the order. I want who you think and what you want. So let's start with
Okay.
what we think the order will be.
Okay. What I think the order will be Cara, Flick, Cara, Flick. Huh. This is going without knowing who wins, but like immunity. Haley, and then George and Cara in the end.
But you just said Cara got fifth.
Oh, you are right. Cara, Flick, and then George, and then Haley and Way in the end.
Whaley. That's their ship
Yeah,
name. Whaley.
Whaley. Yeah, Whaley in the end. Now, what I want to happen. Go ahead. What do you think is going to
happen? Cara, Way, Flick, George, Haley.
I can see that too. And see, that's almost what I want to happen. That's exactly what I want to happen.
You don't want George to win?
No, Haley and George in the end. And George winning. That's what I want. But the order is the exact same. Because we know that Flick is going to make it to 4. So someone's got to go in 5th place. So
it's kind of difficult to say who I want because I know who I want to win. I don't know what I want with the rest of the order though.
Right. And it's good. It's good that nobody know. It's good to know that nobody else knows that Flick has an idol.
Oh, yeah, so unless she just tells everyone.
Yeah.
I kind of just waiting for her to go back at camp and be like, "Hey guys, welcome to Final 5. We made it. I have an idol."
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it doesn't. If she's smart, she doesn't tell anyone, and then they all just vote for her. She acts all depressed, and she's just like, "My one vote for George will send him home."
See, and my thought is, if I'm Haley or if I'm Flick, I at least have to try in the immunity challenge.
Yeah,
you at least have to try. Yeah, because then everyone will know.
Yeah,
that sums up, and you have an idol. So.
Yeah, I still say try, but don't win.
Right.
Because then you have the one vote power.
Yeah, if she was smart, she would vote Haley out. But she's not smart.
I mean, she wasn't on the brains try. She's a Brawn for a reason.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, take a shot watching all these recaps about how many times I said they're Brawn for a reason. So that's the end of Australian Survivor. We've still got 3 episodes left. We have a final 5. We're still waiting for our winner. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Jessica for being here. Thank Craig for background noise.
Yes. He says thanks.
You're welcome. I hate doing outros. If you subscribe to the Live Reality Game Shows podcast YouTube channel, join the Facebook group, follow all the socials, join the Survivor Reddit Discord, talk all things Australian Survivor, US Survivor, Big Brother, College Survivor. I will get an MC Survivor chat going if I actually try.
You gotta like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's
Comment, subscribe, leave your hate comments, tell us why Haley should have voted off George, tell us how George isn't winning, and we'll see you next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.